American Psycho is a psychological thriller, which is a true polymorphism of the film genre. That is, it can take many forms, which become visible only upon close inspection. Many viewers are surprised when watching the film that it is not called a horror or thriller, but a satirical black comedy full of murder and suspense. Where's the humor in that? One wonders after viewing the film, and the humor is palpable in all the episodes. The pretentious strangeness and the unrealistic characters whose actions sometimes make even less sense than the carnage that the main character, Patrick Bateman, wrecks. And we want to talk all about it in this video. So if you love the idea, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, A.O.D, for more videos like this. And if you already did, let's start with a little reminder for those who might not remember it well. The very first shots of American Psycho begin with drops of blood gently dripping onto the background of the credits, giving the impression that this is a horror film. But in the next shot, we see how these drops turn out to be the ordinary cranberry juice and have nothing to do with gore. It is this play of contrasts that holds the whole film together and is a complete irony of the stereotypes accepted in society. The attempt to deceive the viewer culminates in the film's finale, when it becomes unclear whether Bateman's actions were real or just the outburst of a perverted fantasy. Bale's character's disdain for consumer culture is best characterized by a room in his apartment filled with human corpses, with "Die Yuppie Scum" written in blood on the wall. Yuppie scum is the generation of Wall Street businessmen of the 1980s. Young, rich, impeccably groomed, and well-dressed, they do not know what it means to fight for your existence and earn your daily bread. Die Yuppie Scum is a graffiti campaign created as a protest against the spread of these lifestyles and behaviors. In this respect, the film is strongly reminiscent of the sensational thriller Fight Club, in which the main character is also representative of a typical society and strives only for external stimuli. In the end, he finally derails and acquires a second self that seeks to destroy the behavioral paradigms of society. The main character, Christian Bale, stands out the most in this respect. He is always late for work, and in the office, he does nothing but listen to music and draw in his notebook. While he tries to get his body in order and somehow stand out from the crowd, the greatest irony is that the characters in the film are not all different from each other. More than that, they constantly mix up their names and mistake each other for different people. For example, even Paul Allen, after torturing Bateman, does not recognize him and thinks he is another yuppie, Marcus Halberstam. The characters in the film are so caught up in their rosy and carefree world that they do not accept any other reality at all. Bateman, for example, regularly voices his thoughts and secrets, confesses that he likes to murder in his spare time, but his revelations are not noticed at all. The main character of the film constantly vacillates between two identities, a highly paid employee of a prestigious company and a disturbed psychopath with penchant for violence, cannibalism, and necrophilia. Like all the upper-class characters mocked in the film, Patrick pays meticulous attention to his appearance. He exercises regularly, pays attention to his wardrobe choices, and even to little things like a business card or a pen. Patrick's highly dualistic personality is expressed in his attitude towards other people and towards social issues. For example, he criticizes his buddies for their anti-Semitic jokes and is a vehement opponent of racism and economic inequality. But this is just another suit he puts on himself. Greed and hypocrisy are the main components of the main character's personality. Patrick has a very special sense of humor with which he pokes fun at his miserable existence. In these rare moments, you can see how Bateman sees himself. And Patrick's ridiculous humor is the unnoticed cry of his soul, a manifestation of the depression in which he is trapped. With the pronounced dualism of the main character, it is not hard to notice that he has no individuality of his own. This is also true of all the other characters in the film, who are merely caricature parodies of themselves. Patrick feels completely alienated from the world around him and tries to find the most natural model of behavior in order not to stand out among other people. He listens to popular music to imitate the musical tastes of normal people, watches pornography to learn how to make love, reads horror movies to learn how to kill. Patrick's personality is a composite image of popular culture and an attempt to imitate his social environment. By the end of American Psycho, it becomes clear that Patrick Bateman, in an attempt to escape reality, has invented a sadistic universe in which he rejects all known morals and social norms. Watching the film, you can see how Bateman gradually starts to go crazy. His sadistic tendencies take on more and more subtle forms as he tries to escape reality, culminating in the murder of more than 7 people he encounters, including an old woman on the street, a police patrolman, and a janitor. Patrick hastily returns to his office and tearfully confesses to his lawyer Garrett all the crimes committed. After an honest confession, the protagonist returns to the apartment of Paul Allen, whom he killed earlier to destroy the evidence. To his surprise, however, it turns out that Paul never lived in that apartment, which is a clear sign that all, or most, of Patrick's murders were just his imagination. This theory is confirmed in the final scene, where Bateman meets his lawyer, to whom he had previously confessed the murders. Garrett thinks all the words about the murders are a hoax and is stunned to report that Paul Allen is still alive. Now, let us discuss the opinion that the murders are not in the mind of the protagonist, but are real. I'll answer the question right away. If the murders are real, why are the shootout with the cops and the ending so absurd? Patrick's interpretation of the world is distorted by his inflated ego and obvious psychosis, as well as his presumed multiple mental illnesses, from narcissistic personality disorder to borderline personality disorder. And of course, he is a psychopath. When he gets angry, he cannot distinguish between reality and fantasy. But ultimately, the goal of the film is not to give us a definitive answer. At the beginning of the film, Jared Leto's character accidentally greets the main character with the name Halberstrom, who works for the same company, has the same job, the same suit, the same glasses, and the same hairstyle. However, everyone we see in Bateman's office looks like the same person. Not surprisingly, the identities get mixed up throughout the film. That Patrick's lawyer makes the mistake of speaking of the living Paul Allen is not only believable, but also becomes an expression of the general confusion of the results from the loss of identity. While Patrick tries to fit into society like everyone else, living an empty lifestyle, he tries to stand out as not to conform to what he, in some ways, despises. Bateman leads a double life as a hitman, where he is excluded from the fringes of society. Yet every self-absorbed yuppie he encounters ignores his confessions or thinks he's joking. No one comes running at the sound of the chainsaw because the people around him are introverted. When Patrick stuffs a body into a trunk, people only care what brand of sleeping bag it is. In the final scene, Bateman achieves no catharsis. He is trapped in his own personal hell because he needs the recognition of the other yuppies to confirm his identity as a murderer. The lack of recognition of his reality drives Bateman further into madness and despair. Like the book, the film ends ambiguously, asking us to examine our distorted perspectives and realities. Like Patrick Bateman, we can be trapped, craving the recognition of others and denying ourselves the ability to distinguish between reality and fantasy. And with that, there is nothing left to talk about this great phenomenon. Of course, you can always tell us what you think about down in the comment section. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, A.O.D. Hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day, and goodbye.